Everyone. So we're back, and it's Sunday morning, the 30th of April, the last day of April, and we're into trackers, and there's only two boats, so it's going to be challenging because it might not take very long. But anyway, we're still here. It's been an amazing few days, and we've all had a lot of fun. It's been hard work, and but wow, what a finish to the lead boats of the GGR. I mean, it was really spectacular, and I'll waffle on a bit because the weekend. But it really was quite amazing sitting out there with Kirsten when she arrived, just having this ocean party, just drifting around, and I didn't really fully appreciate the essence of that sort of situation until it was over. When we got back, I thought, wow, because you get there and you think, oh, how frustrating this, get to the finish line, she's just calm, this is terrible, sort of, not quite, because it was fun. But when you got back, you thought, wow, that was like a scene out of Waterworld or something, the movie. And it had a great ambiance, and we're all having fun. And every 15 minutes, there'd be another horn party with just all the horns would go off, and then slowly drifted to the line. And then the light all changes, it's come in the river. And it was like Christmas with all the nav lights on the back there. And that film clip that Rob put together was really emotional. When he said, "Hey, I finished," and I'm thinking, "Oh yeah, this will be cool." And I looked at it, and like we're all standing there, it was just wow, it was super powerful. So lots of memories, and Kirsten did an amazing job. When Simon turned up as well, it was really fun, because we were all mates, and he came boring in the Spinnaker, and there's a law, there's a rule in Les Sables d'Olonne that you are not allowed to sail down the river. You can't do it; it's illegal. You get fined. And there's Simon cruising down with the Howden Spinnaker and all that sort of stuff. So that was pretty cool. Don't worry, he won't get into trouble. And then, of course, Tommy turns up, or Avalish turns up. I call Avalish Tommy sometimes. And that was just as much fun. I mean, there was a few panics in the beginning there because of lots of different reasons, getting to the line and then heading back out to sea again, and then coming back down the channel at 10 o'clock, and all the people, and it was just great. It was just everything about the whole three boats arriving was absolutely perfect. And Simon's the pure gentleman that he is, handled himself really well. And then Kirsten comes back, and what can you say about Kirsten? I mean, if you had to tick boxes about someone winning the GGR and being very, very direct here and being very selfish from an organiser's point of view, I mean, she speaks French, she speaks English, and blah, blah, blah. She looks great. We're all commenting that she looks better now after 8 months at sea by herself getting hammered than when she even left. I mean, she looked pretty good then. So that was a bit crazy. And then Tommy turns up, happy as a peanut, and unfortunately burned his hand, and it's quite a burn. But he just ignored it, keep the adrenaline, keep running, and we do we do all the rhubarb, on the dock, and then up on the stage, and blah blah blah, and then quiet room press conference. It was a lot of fun. So and we all burnt a lot of energy, and it was still going late and early, but I think we all slept like logs last night. Anyway, all part of the fun, and now back into the tracker. So we obviously didn't get to do a tracker yesterday. What's the format going forward? We've got two boats on the water. What'll happen is starting tomorrow, we'll only be doing the tracker 3 times a week. Okay, we'll do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on a regular basis. If there's something happening, obviously we'll do the tracker at any time of the day or night, and bring up the latest news and so on. And we'll look forward to seeing Captain Good, who'll take the podium. I reckon I haven't even looked today. Well, haven't done an ETA, but I reckon it'll be a couple of weeks. So not next weekend, maybe the weekend after. We should see Goog turn up, and then Jeremy will be sometime after that as well. So, and it was fun having Ian along for the ride as well, being here. That was pretty cool. I just heard a rumour that Arnaud is due back in Les Sables d'Olonne in, when was it, Ada? The 12th of May, around about the 12th of May. Arnaud will turn up, and anyway, and then all of the entrants will be coming back for 24th of June. Ada's here, by the way, because she lost her pants. She lost her wet weather gear when we were rushing out the first lot, so I lent her a pair of mine, and and now they've mysteriously disappeared after she got off the boat. Put them somewhere, and it's kind of funny. We're trying to discuss. They're not in the car. They're not in the office. They're not in the back room. They're not on the Lassard Plain boat. So anyway, yeah, part of the course. And there's a few after parties going on now. So yeah, if anyone find a pair of wet weather pants, wet weather gear, they belong to Ada. And I said Ada's so famous now, someone wanted them. So but anyway. Nice weekend now. Everyone's sort of catching their breath, and a few different things going on. Great to see all the Bayonet people here, the whole contingent, and it really is something special and significant for Asia and the UAE. Quite significant. So we were happy to have that involvement. And Howden's were just crazy. David from Howden's, he blasted. He was David from Howden's, which is Simon's sponsor, was on the dockway just waiting for Kirsten. And I thought he had the champagne to give to Kirsten or something, because I had a bottle as well. So it's just cool. And then he just let rip. That he was the one that's squirting over Kirsten when they arrived, and anyway, all a bit of fun. We everyone's sort of winding down to a degree, and thanks for all the thanks that you're all giving us, and the team and all that sort of stuff for everything we do. We do it because we love it, and the GGR is really a lot stronger now than it ever has been. And there's some very interesting commentary going on, not only for our champion sailors and adventurers and so on, but also for the event, which is a really good thing. So I think it's fantastic. Anyway, getting back to the tracker, what's happening with our last two sailors on the water, and I think Goog's quite happy with things right now. He should be, because he's got a great breeze and he's doing quite good things. He's making 5.5 knots. He did 140 nautical miles in the last 24 hours. That's pretty solid, because the wind is pretty solid. He's probably, I just picked this up. You can see what's going on. He's right on top of the Azores there. So he's got plenty of breeze from it's been swinging around, but generally now west, and that's pushing him exactly where he wants to go. You don't want to go too far west because you run out, but he knows all this. He's got this big low pressure system above him, and there's no Azores high there as such, but it's driving plenty of breeze, and it's going to hold that way for a while, I reckon. Distance, let's look at the leaderboard just to put everything in perspective. Captain Goog has got 1,454 miles to go. That's going to take, with all the usual delays and things that happen, about 2 weeks. So I reckon, as I said, he'll be in not this next weekend, but the weekend after. Be good if it's a weekend arrival. That's the good way to get the locals out and everything. And Lassard Dalone's waiting for him. And then Jeremy over the other side here. We've got 2,391 nautical miles to go. So that's probably going to take about 3 weeks, I reckon. So you might see him a week later. Let's see what the split is. I digress here a bit. We'll see what's going on here, see how far behind he is. There he is. So, boom. Jeremy's just about to enter the Doldrums by the look of it. Yeah, about 1,000 miles. So 10 days behind. It's 1,100 miles. So, yeah, maybe the week later. So about 3 weeks from now, thereabouts, we'll start to see Jeremy getting close. So that's pretty cool. I should have actually done Jeremy first. It's the polite way to do it, but we're already talking about Goog, so we'll just look at his weather for the next couple of days and see what it looks like. You can see it's driven by that big system just north of him. And now here we go. So it's all softening off, but the wind direction is still good. It's all southwest, right behind him. So he'll, at that point, it backs right off, and he'll have the mizzen staysail up and be going quite solidly. So he'll be through the Azores really quickly. So there we go, 24 hours, all looking really good, and it's pretty much like a highway. That's really good. There's a bit of a puff coming, but it's starting to diminish. So that's just going to give him plenty of breeze, which is really good. Yeah, they go through onto the second. He's just got plenty of breeze there, pushing him right where he wants to go. So he's going to be making good times. I would think he's going to do 130 to 140 mile days each of the next few days. And in the scheme of things, it looks like there's a high forming up behind him. This could be the start of a high coming here, but so we'll just push it through a bit and see just a little one. There's a little high there, but the airflow is all pointing in towards the Bay of Biscay. That's on the 4th, so that's on the 5th. He'll be riding that by then. He's up here somewhere, so this is fantastic. This is really good weather for good, and Nuri will be flying along. Yep, that's all fantastic. This is right through to the 5th. Wow, he'll make good time. So, yeah, it might get a bit fluffy there. So anyway, for the next 4 or 5 days, Goog's on a highway, and he'll make good time. So that's all pretty cool there. And now to Jeremy, 5.5 knots, 88 nautical miles in the day, and he's starting to. He didn't get doldrums, but it looks like he's going into the doldrums now. The doldrums are normally down this end of the world. This looks like a system starting to form up. And so it's a little bit like the doldrums. Let's have a look at what the clouds look like. That gives you an indication of, no, he's in sun. So it's just a hole. It's just a lack of wind. So it's not thunderstorms and bits and pieces. There shouldn't be many. There'll probably be a few. Certainly the waves will be all calm. Yep, very calm. Goog, on the other hand, you can see he's in a seaway there. He's got that's up into 5s. So he's got 5 meter seas, but they'll all be running in the right direction. So he's happy with that. But Jeremy's still got another week or so of reasonably good seas. So what's he got in wind wise? And let's see what happens. I'm going to leave it up big so you can see what's going to happen to this mess here going forward, because he'll certainly start running out of breeze by the look of it now. Yeah, it's a little bit doldrumy, but it's quite high for the doldrums. So okay, he's going to hold into that gradient here from the northeast for at least another day, and this may shrink and disappear by the time he gets to the next one. So let's see. No, it's holding. So he's still got a reasonable breeze there. That's I'll just pick this up a bit now, just so we see the distances. He's going to be 190. Yeah, he's still got a bit of breeze in the second day, and then this area of no wind is starting to close up. So that's not going to affect him for another day and a bit. And then it's closing, yeah, and he's got breeze coming up. Okay, I think he's got a couple of days of quite pleasant sailing, not fast, but pleasant. So he's probably going to make 80-mile days for the next couple of days. This is through to the 2nd now, and that's about it. So okay, that's all pretty straightforward. So they'll be short and sweet, these ones. That's why we're going to decrease the timeline. You can always get onto your app anytime you want, obviously, and check it out yourself. But we will, any weather we see coming, anything that looks really interesting, if it's not on the 3 daily routine, we will absolutely come up and give you a hoo-ha. The other thing is that I've got all those questions there. We got bombed on YouTube for questions. So the YouTube questions I will try and answer today. We've got a few things we're doing. I'm working on a couple of things, but there's a lot of questions. They're going to be a big session, but there's some interesting questions there. And I will try and get that up. We had talked about trying to get together with Kirsten, Katie, and Ada to do a bit of a girls' chat about the GGR, but Kirsten was obviously flat out, so we never quite hooked up with the time to do that. Now Katie's gone back to the UK. So we'll modify that if we can, when we can, just to get a woman's perspective. You might have noticed we put the French translated version of the press conference with Kirsten up online. That was all translated live, real-time live in English and French. So anytime there was a French conversation, those English journalists in the room who were English had headsets, and it was translated live. And vice versa. So Ablish's press conference, which was substantially in English, was translated to French real-time live for all the journalists in the room. And I didn't realise that Les Sables d'Olonne had actually put that up live as well. And so they're the two that had the French tracks. I'm going to ask them on Monday if we can get a similar post like that with the English soundtrack from the English interpreter. If we can, it will mean that everything that was spoken in French on Kirsten's press conference will be able to give a running live English track. So I'll try and get hold of that if it's available. I know the audio will be available, but I'm not sure whether they linked it to the vision. But we'll see what we can do, because there was quite a substantial amount of French there. Some people have been commenting about that, but that's the way it works. And I'm very happy that Kirsten was able to speak French, because there is a lot of French fans here, and our biggest supporter obviously is Les Sables d'Olonne. So I never deny anything, and we work. We put in an effort ourselves to do French as often as we can, and on everything that we do, because the Sables d'Olonne community here and the community, the whole of France following is pretty strong and getting stronger. So we're happy about that. But anyway, I'll see if I can get that one. I'll just quickly scan through the comments here on the side and see if we got any questions. Well done, John. Thank you. Morning from California, Portishead. Great race finishes. Yeah, they sure were, Mick. From Hawaii, thank you for doing these updates every day. What an awesome race. Yeah, it was. It is. Thank you for keeping up with the daily updates. It's an incredible race, Don. How are we going to live without it? Go follow the Ocean Globe race. That'll be just as much fun. Starts September the 10th. Brian, morning. Great arrival, sure was. Yeah, it was really. There's some great footage and so on. And anyway, there's also some great onboard footage from the entrance, which we've scanned through. So stand by for that as well. We'll try and get some of that up soon. And the films and the doco is going to be great. You can rest assured Kirsten will produce, and her team will produce a fantastic documentary. Kirsten's footage and the way she was filming on board was really exceptional. She as I say, often she carries her heart on her shoulder, and she's got some great stuff there. So they will produce a documentary, I'm certain. In fact, I know they are, because we're talking to their producers and stuff as well. And it'll be a highlight. And Fathom who are producing the Golden Globe Race documentary for 22, that's going to be a classic. That will take a bit longer to put together, I think, because it's a bit of a more substantial, it's a substantial production, and let's see where it goes and what happens with it. And then, all the other entrants are going to, they'll release all their footage soon. Okay, so all the entrants get all their footage back when they finish, obviously, and they'll all do different things with it. So you can keep up with that on their own individual social media tracks, and we will share anything that we see that looks really cool as we go forward. So don't think that the GGR is finished with its coverage. There'll be a lot going on in the next couple of months leading up to the prize giving on June the 24th. So that's cool. Yeah, that's a good one. Treat your natural remedies. Yeah, we get bombed with a bit of spam, I've got to tell you. We try to fight it as much as we can, and we anyway, that's another story. More natural remedies. Oh, look at that. More natural remedies. Fantastic. I'm feeling so healthy. Goog's a perfect run. Yeah, he's looking good. You speak my language, short and sweet. Yeah, I speak a bit fast, actually. If any French people are trying to cope with a little bit of English, but that's cool. Video's frozen. There's a signals. I'm showing 3-4 bars there. Anyway, still there. Okay, so it looks like there's a problem. Anyway, we'll wait for it to load, and then it'll come back up again. All right. So did Mr. Tommy use copper coat? No, he didn't. That was paint on the bottom of the boat. It wasn't copper coat. Copper coat hasn't proven so successful for the GGR, and I doubt whether you'll see much in the next GGR, but there you go. Maybe I'm wrong. Nothing wrong with copper coat. It's just the type of sailing for GGR and the waters they go through are maybe different than the average cruising boat. So copper coat's cool. Make your own decisions, but there were some serious challenges. The most obvious one was Jeremy. He cleaned the bottom perfectly clean in Cape Town. He dived over the side, cleaned it, and you can see the video clips of what it looked like when he got to Hobart. It was a farm. It was really quite sad, and that was the end of his race at that point. Okay, so the prize will be on the 24th of June. The prize giving will be on the 24th of June. Hang on, I've got more bombing in here. That was from Annie. Hi, Annie. 24th of June, and Kirsten's birthday is one day before on the 23rd. Ah, jeepers. Did you see that? I didn't realize that. Okay, so there's going to be some big things here. Anyway, there is, big days. We hope to have all the entrants into Les Sables d'Olonne by Thursday night, because there's a few things going on Friday. We'll have some more interviews and stuff for filming interviews for us and bits, and then in the afternoon we have a big debrief on the race. So it's a private one. No one will know anything that happens. It's behind closed doors, and all the entrants can abuse us as organisers, say this was terrible, we went to that, and we can say, oh, you guys were really hopeless, and then we'll learn from that, and we may incorporate some of that into 2026. Then there's a big it's an entrance dinner, for exclusive private dinner for the entrants and stuff on Friday night. Saturday morning, there'll be a press conference, which is with all of the entrants in the GGR. That is the first time they've all been together at a conference since the departure. And then the events on the Saturday that Les Sables d'Olonne are putting on for the prize giving are fantastic. You can be here for the whole weekend. I think I can talk about that. I forget whether. Yeah. It's a Marine Festival weekend, which they'll officially announce in the days ahead. But it's a lot of things going on that weekend. Saturday night, it's in an amazing place, right on the foreshore, big area there, huge stage and bits and pieces gearing up for big concerts. And it'll start, I forget exactly what time, but early evening, 7 o'clock or whatever. It'll run for about an hour and a half for GGR stuff. And then there's two big concerts after that. And the band they've got, I'm not going to say who it is, the band they've got for the straight after, I think there's about 5, 6, 10 musicians and stuff on stage. It's going to be cool, believe me. That's all I'll say that. And then when that one's finished, they've got a separate side stage because they can't move everything up with another whole rhubarb young people blasting all night type concert going on after that, and it's going to be cool. So if you ever wanted to come to Les Sables d'Olonne and you wanted to be involved with GGR and maybe meet some of the GGR heroes, the entrants and stuff, that's the time to do it. It's June the 24th. It'll be a lot of fun. And now we find out it's Kirsten's birthday on the 23rd. So that's cool. We'll see you on the 24th of June. We can have a chat. John Brian, I'll be around. You didn't catch me, but there's lots of things going on. Did tell me he's got no, all good now. Thanks for the updates. I missed the moment when Kirsten found out to be first. Yeah, I wasn't there either because she was stalling a long way out, and some of the media were going out, but we had to stay behind to manage all the arrivals. So I think it was about 4 hours before she crossed the line. They got there. And I haven't seen any reports of anyone capturing that moment, but that's fine. Thanks again, busy group. Can't read that one. And will the boats that the entrants use be in Les Sables that weekend? Probably not. There might be one or two. Some of the entrants are planning to leave their boats behind. So you'll be able to see those boats. I'd say there'll probably be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 GGR boats maybe, but some of the boats, the Aberlis boats, for instance, may be going over to the UAE to go into a museum. Some of the others will come up for sale. They'll all be doing different things, but there will be some. Okay, I think that's enough of that. So we'll see you tomorrow because we're going to now do tracker updates only on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the last couple of guys coming in. But anything that happens, we'll let you know. See you later. And thanks again for all the kind comments and kind words about the GGR. It's been and is fantastic.